The following program is hosted by immature, irreverent, obnoxious, and often disgusting young men. Listener discretion is advised.
This time on Nude Clan.
Nude Mombasa forever.
Shall we play a game?
You've got several things to do. You've got work, kids in school. What do you do when it's all over?
How do you hand something from one player to another?
Dark soul lights. Turn on the TV, pick up the controller and play some games with the new clan.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Nude Clan. Today, as you can see,
We're organized.
Well prepared.
we're going to be doing Halo 3 ODST. Super excited. This is the fourth Halo game in our Halo playthrough. The great Halo playthrough of 2021, because fuck you guys, we're going to play whatever we want.
Remember back when we had forced entries? Do you remember that hell?
This was the last thing the last great old hog gave us before he departed this realm. Was the freedom to choose whatever the fuck we want.
Yeah, I gotta say, it's been real refreshing to play short, fun games.
Instead of 75-hour Digimon-based
Fucking
RPGs.
RPG. I'm so sick of RPGs, man. Like, I get enough from my other shows.
I was gonna be like, I hate RPGs. Final Fantasy.
No, I get enough from the other show. Like, that's it. I don't want to play any more RPGs than what I've already played. Like,
should play Tales of
they're
Arise, though.
so long. They're so long.
Play Tales of Arise though.
I should play Tales of Arise.
Yes. Yeah, you should play Tales of Arise. It's really fun.
I want to. I actually do,
Is that true?
because I really liked Tales of
true?
Hysteria, and and seeing that there's a new Tales of game and that people are really liking it. It's on the PS5, which is the new console that I got. Makes me excited to play it, but at the same time, I don't know if I have time. I think I want to play another shooter next month.
Well, I mean, we already are. Like,
And I played.
Why not Halo 4?
no, it's Halo Reach next. I thought.
Oh, Halo Reach. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
it'd be
Reach.
Halo Reach. But also, I did just play Roller Coaster Tycoon, so that'll be the other.
Which in itself is basically RPG-like.
And then I believe
so,
for December we agreed on Enter the Matrix.
Yeah, I had it.
I gotta get a TV. I gotta get a TV that can play it.
So yeah, there we go. So Halo 3 ODST is a 2009 first-person shooter made by Bungie for Microsoft Game Studios. Fourth Halo game ever released on the 360.
Yep.
Does anybody have like a real quick story breakdown for me?
So ODST is a prequel sequel. It is set between Halo 2 and 3. In the events of Halo 2, when the Covenant find Earth and attack, and they jump into that slipstream space, and it causes that huge rupture. In Halo 2, you don't
Right
see...
over New Mombasa.
Yeah, you don't see what happens to that because you're with your Master Chief, and you go with them into the slipstream space. But ODST is what's going on during then, which kind of like decimates the city of New Mombasa. It's kind of like an EMP shockwave. A lot of stuff gets fucked up. You play as the titular ODSTs, which are like the hell jumpers in the game.
The Orbital Drop Shock Troopers.
Yeah.
Nice.
So you play. So, what?
Nice, the title.
It's rad. So you play as them, or a squad of them, which the main character is Nathan Fillion, which is interesting they got him.
Is he played by him?
Yeah, that's
Oh,
Nathan
I just
Fillion.
thought he looked and sounded like him. I guess that makes sense.
I just thought he looked exactly and sounded
And he sounds exactly like him.
him.
And like, it's what's his name? It's Troy Baker. That's crazy.
Hey, is that guy from Firefly?
Yeah.
He did kind of sound like Nolan North at times, though. To be
Yeah,
fair.
but I mean, Nolan North does the voice. For
Is that a
Nathan
porn
Drake.
star?
No, that's what?
No, Nolan North was like the big video game voice actor before Troy Baker. Like,
Okay.
before Troy Baker was in every video game, it was Nolan North.
All right.
Yeah.
Nolan North is Nathan
Podcast,
Drake.
goddamn it. No, just kidding. Anyway, so you guys get your team gets thrown off course. You play as the character named the Rookie, and you're traveling through New Mombasa at night. You wake up in your crash pod, and you're traveling there at night trying to find your squad. And as you go along through the city that's being patrolled by Covenant forces, you find bits and pieces of like you find like a sniper rifle, you find a helmet, and as you go along, it tells its own story.
You take 12 years to find the beep, beep, beep.
Yeah.
Beep. Where the fuck
Well, if
is
you
that
turn on
coming
your
from?
if you hit the 4 key and
like,
turn on your like night vision thing, it highlights the object in question in like a brighter yellow. Yeah, but when you guys drop down to New Mombasa, you're dropping down at the worst possible time, at the exact moment that slipstream happens.
Mm-hmm.
So like you basically all get knocked off course and have to regroup. Like your character, the Rookie, wakes up like 6 hours after the drop. So you've just been like out of it the whole time.
I think it's funny that like with this one and with Reach, there's the names. It's like, oh, you're the Rookie, or it's like, oh, you're Noble Six. Like, it's like, let's not give you a cool name.
Noble Six is a cool name.
You're just this. Like, I don't know. It just bugs me.
Was there one named like Dick or something like that?
What are you
Buck?
watching?
Buck. That was it. My name is Buck and I like to fuck. That's right.
There's a buck breaking joke in there somewhere.
Nice.
God. But so what you're doing is you're playing as the Rookie, and you're finding these items that tell a story of what's happened to your squad, and eventually you meet up with Buck and the rest of your squad. It's kind of like the whole like what you're trying to do for the game.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, you're trying to fight again. You're trying to leave New Mombasa, which is being like overrun by Covenant because there is something going on, but you're not sure what it is.
Okay. Yeah. I was not. I don't know how you guys felt about the story, but I was not roped into it like at all.
Me neither. It felt very.
In fact,
like,
when I was like playing it, when I was playing it, I had when we redid the first 3 missions, and it took someone going, "Oh, these are flashbacks." It's not just like landing at the same time. Like I didn't get that they were flash. I would have probably gotten that about halfway through the game because it made it pretty obvious later on. But like, it was kind of a clusterfuck of cutscenes for me when they happened, and I was just like really kind of confused off the bat.
Things like, okay, so with you guys saying that, this was going to be hard for me to review because I'm very much ingrained with nostalgia on this one.
Okay.
Because I fucking loved this one. When it came out, because it was like, oh, there's no more Halos. Then they were like this, and you're like, oh, fuck, what? Like, you're going to play as these guys? Like, it was just rad.
Yeah, so are you the only one who played this before?
Yeah.
Yeah, I never played it.
I played... I want to say it might have been this. It might have been Reach because I didn't play the multiplayer on this. I
think I was on my mission when Reach came out, so I never played Reach.
Okay.
This one, ODST, I did the midnight release. I went to GameStop and I sat there and I waited, and they did a party at GameStop.
Okay.
Dude, it was sick as shit.
Nice.
They did like a little like.
I missed those.
They were like doing like a thing.
I
like,
really miss those.
They were doing it wasn't a raffle, but it was like a kind of a competition where they were asking questions and like keeping points, and I won this like RC Warthog.
Nice.
What
It
was
was
the
sick, dude. It
last
was-
midnight release you guys ever went to?
They don't do them anymore. Oh, I did Borderlands 3.
I dropped off a girl in high school for the Skyrim one. That was the last one, I think.
No, we went to
Skyrim was after FF13.
no, but we went to Type Zero, didn't we?
Were you in
We
high
went
school in
to-
2011?
Yeah, no.
No, it would have been right after. You're right. It was no. Yeah, I had a friend back then, and she had to go get She had to go pick up Skyrim at the midnight releasing, and I dropped her off.
You didn't
Okay.
stay?
I think
I
that
was
was
gonna say, by the time Skyrim came out, I was already done with college.
that was the last major
And I'm
one.
not that much older than you guys.
That was the last major one, and I think Schweiss was talking about Final Fantasy. I think there wasn't a party; they were open.
Yeah.
But we had to go to the FF15, and it was like it was the worst snowstorm Utah had seen in like years.
Yeah.
And I drove. It took me like 3 hours to do like a 1 hour drive to get here.
Jesus.
And it was terrifying. And we had we brought the recorder. There's an episode out on UFF.
Yeah.
That would have been the last time. There were only like a handful of people there.
Yeah, it was pretty sad.
Yeah.
I remember that day because I was trying to go up the hill to get out of UVU, and I was sliding backwards, and I was
Yeah.
like, fuck this, dude. This is fucking bad. It took me like 40 minutes to get home, and that's only like 5 miles out.
That's right.
I was like, deeply disturbed. And then when I knew coming down off the freeway, there's that turn. I was like, that thing's gonna kill me, dude. I made it. I don't know how, because I went down that hill and I was like, fuck. And I think when we came back, we slid a little bit after we got the game. So it was just like, dude, assholes clenched.
Dude,
It
that's
was terrifying.
game in hand.
I hate driving in winter because I'm always tired after. Like, I get home and I'm like,
You're like all sweaty and like
yeah, because like, and my
nasty.
hands hurt because I'm like gripping the steering wheel.
just in fear. Oh my god.
Yeah.
You've seen some of the drivers around here, dude.
I hear people when they go in Discord, they're like, guys, how can you stand these Utah drivers? And I can't really comment outside of being like, well, I guess I'm one of them, but
I don't know, man. I mean, I try to follow like the rules, but like, dude,
that's what all the Utah drivers say.
That's
I
not
try
true.
to follow the rules, but
dude.
you know.
So I was fucking Friday. I went up to Salt Lake to my girl's apartment, and I was like, oh sweet, I'm gonna like beat the weather because it was raining really bad. I'm like, I'll be fine. I get to fucking Lehigh and it's like raining. I'm like, that's whatever. I get to the fucking point of the mountain. It was like tropical storm bullshit.
Yeah.
I couldn't
Oh, yeah,
see.
dude.
And this car like is behind me. Like I'm in like the middle lane because I'm like, I'm not gonna be in the fast lane because I'm just gonna chill. And he's like riding my ass and I'm like getting mad. I'm like, motherfucker, I can't go anywhere. Like there's a car in front of me and we're like we're not going under the speed. Like I
hate the
as
mother-
a rule, I go 90 on the freeway. So like I'm going like 70, like peaking to 75, and I'm like, I'm going the speed limit. Get the fuck off my ass. Like it was bad, man. Like you couldn't see anything, and it was that way for like the 30 minutes going up. Like the last 15 minutes was fine.
No, there was a car flipped over when I was driving up here yesterday.
Really?
Yeah, they just like they didn't hit into anybody. They had just flipped over, and there was some cops over next to him trying to help him out, and it was so bad driving up here yesterday.
That's scary, dude.
So yeah, yeah. Speaking of weather, but yeah,
Sorry.
that was the last like midnight. So you went to the midnight release of this.
Yeah, and it was like a party, dude. Like it was back like the good days, man. Like,
Yeah. When GameStop wasn't so shitty.
yeah. When Game Crazy was still an option, right? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
GameStop in the mall, they would demand midnight releases in the Provo Mall, even though the Provo Mall hates that
Same
shit.
with the Orem, and they're like, we're not closing. So I went
We
to
have
American
to have our
Fork.
2 janitors stay late.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are we going to do? Go up to the locked stores? Ooh.
Honestly, that was probably the best one. Was ODST for me.
Yeah. My favorite one was definitely Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Winning that
My favorite one
tournament.
was probably my last one, which is Super Smash Brothers 4.
Oh, no one plays that game. So, I'm just kidding. That's a throwback to a conversation none of you were a part of, listener.
It's true.
See, like with that though, like kind of going off a little tangent. I apologize. Like with that too, I miss midnight movies too. Like those were fun.
They still have those.
Not really, because you go to like down here the Megaplex and they're like, first showing's like 6 o'clock, and you're like, okay, I'll just go to cinema.
Yeah, they go midnight with in quotes.
Yeah, but I mean, like
Have you guys ever
I remember
you guys ever
standing
done
in line,
the
like,
like
waiting for a
Rocky
movie.
Horror midnight stuff?
No, never have.
No, I don't watch.
fun.
I've gone. Oh, I did. I watched because the new Beverly in
Beverly.
Los Angeles, really famous movie theater owned by Quentin Tarantino. They show old movies all the time. They have midnight movies, and
That's cool.
the one I went to, the one time I went to it, because it was like its movie nerd mecca is to go to the New Beverly cinemas where they only show movies in film, like film proper, and they have these old prints of old movies, and they'll have like a really cool lineup that Quentin Tarantino himself chooses, basically. I went there and it was the Blues Brothers, which I had never seen before. So I was watching it with a bunch of fucking movie nerds, and fucking Quentin Tarantino came out that night. It never happens. And he introduced the movie, and he brought out Dan Aykroyd.
That's cool.
And the two, and they sat like 4 rows behind me and watched the whole movie together with all the rest of these people.
That's
And
cool.
Quentin Tarantino is the loudest motherfucker in that entire movie theater.
He owns it. Who cares?
Yeah, he was
like,
he was laughing his ass off. Him and Dan, I would hear little bits of them talking to each other, and I would just remember the only time I actually heard Dan say something. And Dan, by the way, came through my aisle and shook everybody's hand, which I wasn't ready for, and I think is weird. But I just like, he was coming up to me, and I guess I'll shake your hand. Like it felt like I was forced to shake Dan Aykroyd's
Right, 'cause
hand.
you're like,
in that
fuck.
Oh, did
situation.
you get me? Are you gonna me too, Dan Aykroyd?
No, it wasn't like that.
Okay.
He made me shake his hand, and then he
he's
put it
like-
on his cock.
And he's like, and he said to me, "Enjoy the film." But yeah, there were like 4 rows behind me and across the aisle,
Yeah, that's
and
awesome.
and I just remember one part before like this crazy stunt with a police car happens in that movie, which I guess is like half the movie. But there's one particular shot where before it happened, like right before in the quiet before it happened, Dan Aykroyd goes, "This is my favorite part," and then. It was a cool moment for me
right.
because, like, movie nerd, go to movie nerd Mecca, and Quentin and Dan Aykroyd both show up
That's rad.
to introduce the
Yeah, that's
movie,
rad.
and then yeah,
Yeah, that's fucking sweet.
it was what.
How long did it take you to like peel your underwear off though? Like all that cum? Like
Oh,
there's no way.
they had to like get a big spatula and like literally get him off the seat. He was caked to the
Also,
seat.
Quentin Tarantino is a ginormous person.
Oh,
He
yeah,
is huge.
is he like super
He's
tall?
really tall and he's really wide. And he was fatter then. It was before he had his son, so he's lost weight since then. And he had his like weird, nasty samurai hairdo he was sporting back then. But he was just like what? Yeah, that surprised me is how big he is. Like he's just a big presence.
Yeah.
and like yeah,
That tiny little voice.
not a tiny voice, quite a booming voice.
Dude, he should have brought.
He just he goes up and like we do, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he should have brought Jay Leno with him. Then you're like, I couldn't tell who was talking, but it was awesome. The
Tell
whole
me what's
time.
talking. Which chin is which?
His chin is bigger. Hey, Jay.
You know. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, midnight releases. ODST. I think it was Reach that I played because there was one with the multiplayer stuff where you had to like pick your like special ability or whatever.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
Reach.
that's Reach.
Yeah, that's Reach.
Okay, then I never played ODST. Then I'd heard about it and that was it.
Yeah, I had played Firefight a couple times, and my buddy that I lived with was really into it. But that's really it for ODST.
Yeah.
Did you ever see the live action trailers for ODST?
I did.
That's when
remember
they were doing
those.
those. There was live action trailers.
I remember the live action for that one, and I think the live action for Halo Wars back in the day.
Are we gonna play Halo Wars on this? can't
I
remember.
want to.
I will.
kinda want
We
to.
discussed this. I think Halo
It's
Wars
next.
2 is on. Which one of them's only on Xbox? The other one's available on PC.
PC is
I forget
Halo
which
Wars
one.
1.
I thought PC was 2.
I saw on Steam
Okay.
Halo Wars 1. Halo Wars 1 is technically the next game.
Oh,
Just
should
saying.
we do it? We'll talk after the show.
I wonder if 2's on the Game Pass because we were talking about Halo 5. I think
It
it's on
is.
the Game Pass.
I think 2 is
So
on
I
the
have
Game
I have the
Pass.
Game Pass on my PC. So
So we can play it on PC via the Game Pass,
Yeah.
but 5, I think we're going to
and
have to.
I don't know if we're gonna be able to like me and A4 multiplayer because I've heard the multiplayer for Halo's on Game Pass is shit.
Oh, really?
I've heard Steam is the best way to play Halo if you can play it.
I don't know.
You can.
Yeah, so kind of went over the story, kind of went over our history with it. What do you guys... I mean, I kind of said what I thought about the story. It was just kind of like a little hard to follow, kind of near the middle end where I kind of got that they were, it was flashbacks and they were going back to what everybody else was doing at the time, and you were just like going through these levels like them, and then kind of through the main central point when you get into the like the hive level and stuff like that. I was kind of more into it, but I never really got into
Right.
the characters. There were just a lot of them, and it was moving really fast. And
Yeah,
They didn't really
never,
have a lot of like
Yeah.
personality. I mean, they did, but like it wasn't as pronounced. Like,
Yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, here's
and
the
yeah,
thing, too,
it
is-
was kind of a too many cooks situation where there were so many characters. I kind of had trouble telling who was who, especially since they're all kind of just wearing the same armor anyway.
it's colored different. A4, come on.
Yeah, I didn't. So
The characters in Halo Reach, because I played Halo Reach before I played this, the characters in Halo Reach are a lot more distinct because they do have distinct armor and like character design
But
compared to this.
I'm gonna say too, like going from like playing the first 3 Halo games to ODST as well. You don't have as much of what's the word? There's like a drive to play Halo 1, 2, and 3 because it's Master Chief. You're following his story, and you're like, hell yeah, I'm gonna keep continuing. And this one is not because they're just throwing new characters at you.
yeah.
You don't have the same kind of like emotional connection as you do Halo 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
Because you haven't played as them before, which is fine. But then I do understand the whole like they do throw it in. That's like the romance between Buck and fucking the Dare is like shit. It's stupid. She's a bitch, and I couldn't.
Oh,
stand-
dude, the whole time
She's also
the Buck and Dare
hideous.
romance thing was going on near the end. I was like, I could not give a single fuck about this. I don't care.
Which is what you said while you were playing. You're like, I don't give a fuck about this.
I thought from the very beginning the game was fucking weird. Like that first opening cutscene, it was just like
Scrolling text that you're just like, oh, what the fuck?
When it's Star Wars you?
Yeah.
and then they're like all making inside jokes in the plane and stuff before they jump, and I'm like, this doesn't matter to me at all.
I mean, like, I think it's in theory, it's a good way to be like, they have a connection, they are a hardened team together, but from an outside
except for you and the
perspective-
chick.
Yeah, because you're new.
But
Chick's
again,
brand new too.
I got that feeling from Halo Reach with Noble 6, and like I got the feeling that they were like they had the camaraderie, but it doesn't really have that same kind of thing.
And maybe
ODST
that
has.
was like because of Reach Out that could be a perfection on this because they got that feedback. Like I haven't never read reviews for ODST, but maybe that's a common thing. Like like
I don't know. I feel like, well, to be fair to the game, it's called Halo 3 ODST as if it's like a kind of they're slapping on Halo 3, basically. Like
it's a spin-off, more or less, because it's clearly based in like the same engine as Halo 3. Because
before DLC,
it takes place
this
during
would have
Halo
been a
2,
DLC
but it's
campaign.
based on the engine of Halo 3 because it's on the 360.
Yeah. So it's not like they're trying to like do this huge scope thing. They're just giving us a little bit more Halo, and that's all they're doing. They're just like
it's a nice little side story.
Yeah.
It's a little flawed in its execution and delivery, but I think it's good regardless.
Yeah, it's about half the size of a normal Halo campaign as well. It's really short.
I think my time was like 4.5 hours.
Yeah.
I was telling you before every time they said Dare, I just kept hearing the Gorilla song in my head.
It's dead. You've got that's what you do, baby.
I wanted to shoot the giant British head in the closet.
That's a great fucking song. I have no idea what it's about. I think it's about masturbation, but I've gone through.
I don't know what a lot of the songs on Demon Days are about, but they're all catchy. So
I've gone
cares?
through the lyrics, and I'm just like, I think this is about masturbation, or I'm just a pervert, and I have no idea.
You don't
want
to find out, so it's like
I've tried to look up what the song's about, and I can't find a fucking reason for it. Anyway, yeah, I will give the story. I'll give the story a 6. I mean, it kind of tries, and some of the stuff midway through, especially when you're in like the stormy area and you're picking up, you finally find the fucking beep 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 thing. You're finally finding the fucking radio on the ground, and then you have like the flashback to like this like big, huge, epic kind of fight that happens afterwards that you have to play through. Like that stuff, I thought was interesting to me. It just started off on the wrong foot, I think, with the game, and the ending didn't really stick with me. I honestly don't remember the ending, and I played the game 3 days ago. So, like,
yeah,
it's not that memorable of a game, but it's definitely not bad. So I think I'll give it a 6.
Yeah, I was going to say a 7.
Okay.
It was fun. I really enjoyed it. And again, maybe it's for nostalgia, but I really enjoyed it. I like the story. I think it's fun. Honestly.
Yeah.
I'm gonna echo Joe's 6 on that.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with the 6. I don't think it's memorable really at all. I mean, the coolest character I think is the fucking alien creature that like
At the end.
Yeah, drives you around and stuff.
The engineer.
Oh yeah, the engineer.
Yeah, he's got some good little jokes in there. I don't know. I the story of it's just weird. It's just a weird Halo game, and the whole thing just felt like off. Like it didn't feel like the same kind of like jokes that the Marines were always cracking in the other Halo games. It just seemed like they wanted to mix, they wanted to make it like a dramatic thing and a comedy at the same time, and it never really became either. So I don't know. This whole game to me was just fucking weird. Like the whole thing is just weird. It's a weird ass Halo game.
It feels
we haven't even played 4 or 5 yet. It's awesome.
Feels a little arcadey too, right?
Kind of, yeah.
Like
maybe
like a certain Fireteam Raven-esque, like real quick cutscene.
Yeah.
Get to the battle, and the battle's really short too, and then
the levels felt pretty short.
They didn't even have
all
the
things
decency
considered.
to kill everybody like they did in Fireteam Raven either. I figured they were gonna.
It's a fucking spoon.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna happen too. Like,
fun fact, if you want to know what happens to the ODST team, they become Spartans.
oh really?
In the lore, yeah, they're Spartans in Halo 5.
Oh,
Yeah,
interesting.
Buck and Dare apparently are in Halo 5.
And, well, there's a couple that aren't. because if you have to read the books to find out what happened, which isn't gonna happen. But like,
also, did anyone care about the story about the African girl who was trying to get on the train?
Fuck no, dude.
I didn't understand it.
We kept like, because we were playing like the ladder or whatever. I can't remember what you call it, like the playlist.
The playlist.
So it kept taking them away from us every time I went back into the game. And I just didn't have a drive to keep looking for
I feel like if you want to get that full
again.
story and collect all those audio logs, you got to play the single player.
Look,
by itself.
We played it, and I collected like 9 of them, and it was the same fucking audio log for the first like 7. She's like, "Oh, gotta get the train." It's like, "They're not gonna use my card. They can track me with the card," and then they catch her anyway. And I'm like, "What the fuck? How many payphones do I need to find to get the rest of this bitch's story?"
So you didn't get to the part where she almost gets raped?
I did get to that one finally after like
not.
7.
I got to like she's talking to like her AI friend, and that's about. I think I only picked up 2 of them.
Yeah, we got like 7 or 8.
Wow.
But it was kind of, I was making fun of it like the whole time. So,
Okay.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
yeah, it was really weird. And I was like, I don't know what this is really doing for us other than showing that like there's corruption in the city. But like, who gives a shit? There's the aliens bombing the city down. Like, yeah, it was weird. I don't know. Maybe I'd not given it a fair shake, but I thought it was kind of dumb. Yeah. So
I'm kind of excited that like if we don't do Halo Wars next, we just go for Reach, like play like the regular like FPS versions first. I'm kind of stoked because like if you looked at all the graffiti and stuff in this game, it was like, "Don't let this be Reach. Remember Reach."
Yeah, remember Reach.
yeah, there's a lot
All
of Reach.
humanity.
Reach.
The graffiti on the walls was also really corny. Like, end of days. Like, who took the time to write this out on the wall? But whatever.
Someone who couldn't get out, bro. Like, you know, someone sitting there was like, "Fuck."
The Great Castle of all right, so gameplay, it's just like the other Halos so far. It's a shooter. They're using the same engine, I believe, as Halo 3.
There's no dual wielding in this one.
There's no dual wielding. Also, I'd say another huge difference between them is that this one, like the ammo, is real scarce.
Yeah.
And runs out.
Scarce ammo,
real
and
quick.
you also like barely have a shield.
Yeah, you're
you
playing
have
as a pussy.
Yeah.
Right, you're not a Spartan. You're an actual person.
He's gonna be a
yeah.
Spartan.
You have like a health meter.
You're a
I
It's
guess.
not your guy, but
It's
You're a
like a,
person.
what is it, like a fear meter? What the hell is it? It's like you get scared and your screen goes red, but you're not taking any damage.
Yeah, no, it's because like you've been shot. Like you're bleeding out. That's what
Okay.
it is. Yeah.
Okay.
And like, but I like that there wasn't as much ammo because like you're in a city that didn't have like weapons. Like
play it
that.
on Legendary, you bitch, and then tell me that.
It was still fun. Like it's cool.
Pistol whipping fucking brutes. That's brutal, man.
Yeah, I might know. I bet.
Yeah, the shielded brutes, like
Yeah.
the golden guys, and you're just like, I don't have
Yeah.
anything. But you're going through these. There's short levels, usually, and you have like 2 or 3 goals, and you just got to get from place to place. And in the way, of course, there's these guys. Sometimes you have to stand there, and there's like a few parts, especially later in the game, where you just have to stand there and take it. Basically, you just have to defend an area.
Well, that's what the firefight is.
yeah.
Is you defend a certain area and you go through waves and like it's fun.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Like,
so
that's-
it's like almost like a precursor to zombies. That's
It's like
what
a
that sounds
horde
like.
mode, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's cool.
interesting. And that's a big chunk of the game. But yeah, you're always given only just enough ammo in every area you get into, which I thought was like, it made the game, especially during like the second to last level for me, like pretty challenging.
Mm-hmm.
And I just played it by myself in normal after like the first 3 levels because we tried to play it over my hotspot and it just was not
Wasn't
doing
working.
it. It was so laggy.
I think the only problems me and A4 had is we did get a glitch when they steal the Wraith or the Phantom. And then
really?
like driving
Yeah, and you're
around.
flying around to the Banshees.
We
like,
opened
one door
the
just didn't
door
open.
and like it just like sat there and the second didn't open. I'm like, the fuck? So we're flying around.
Oh, wow.
I didn't remember what we were supposed to do, so we're just flying around.
I thought I had glitched the game at one point, and then I realized I had to go find some like item.
You're
And
like, the
I
fuck?
didn't realize that was the first time I had to do that. It took me forever. I was just like walking around. I'm like, I'm at the place. Why is nothing changing?
Well, and the tutorials are super like unhelpful in this because they show up in like the top part of your fucking UI, like right under the compass, and like you got to click through them, but like it just barely fucking, it's like barely there. Like it's not very prominent. So if you missed something in the tutorial, it's really not that surprising.
Yeah. Oh, Credital reminded me, if you collected enough of the logs, you get weapon caches. But that's only if you're willing to backtrack across the entire fucking city, which seems okay. until you've got a decent set of guns and you run across one lone jackal that just fucking wipes your ass
Well,
out.
and it's a weapon cache that you don't
and then you
get to keep because you're in the present where you have to go to get the flashback stuff.
Yeah,
so don't you lose those weapons after you go to the next level anyway?
Yeah, it was kind of a pointless thing, and we had to backtrack forever. I got sniped.
It's good for like an
shit I
achievement,
wanted.
and that's it.
I don't know.
There's a couple levels where you are in vehicles, just like regular Halo game. A couple
in the fashion of every ending Halo game.
Yeah, every ending Halo game, there's always a vehicle something, right? And in this one, it's like there's like a big, huge bulldozing truck kind of thing.
It's called an elephant.
Being led by this engineer creature.
It's going kind of fast.
Is on your
because the engineer soups it up.
Okay, I was gonna say that's the slowest.
It gives it like
thing in
super
the
armor,
world
basically.
Yeah, and at the same time, you start out in a Jeep, and then you move on to a tank, and you're dealing with everything as it comes.
Yeah, fuck that on
flies at ya.
multiplayer. Because if we're on the tank and I was like, I have a turn, I'm like, I can't hit anything because it's like only goes so high in the band.
Yeah,
we're like,
I forget what level. I forget what it was like the third or fourth level where you were driving the tank and I was in that turret, and I was like, God, I cannot aim up at these banshees to save my fucking life.
Yeah, there's some limitations put on your character for sure on this one that makes it, I think, a little bit harder than Halo 3.
you can't jump as high or anything like that too. Like physics, which makes sense again because you're not an engineered human.
There's also no health packs in some parts of this game, and in other parts there's like a lot on the walls, and they're like always in places where they would logically be instead of like in random places like the other Halos. So even though it's more realistic, it made it a little bit more challenging where I was like, where the fuck is the next health pack? And of course, I am playing this once again alone, so I don't have the like support of the other team members, like when there's like shit firing at me.
One of the best, talking about multiplayer, one of the best things like me and A4 did is we were running and like we ended up getting a brute at the same time, and like I can kind of hear like through his headphones, right? We hear the cock of our shotgun at the same time. We same time blast a brute and then chug it because you can see his.
We synced our cocks up.
Dude, it was awesome.
Took
So
him down.
fucking funny.
Nothing better than syncing your cocks up with your friends.
Yeah.
No, but otherwise, I think it plays pretty
I
similar.
might have to change
to
my
like
sign off now.
But otherwise, it's a pretty regular Halo game in that way. I don't know. What do you guys think? Same, better
Than Halo 3?
than Halo 3?
No, it's not as good. I don't think it plays quite the same, personally. I feel like the gravity is a lot more grounded.
Yeah.
Because you're
You're
not
a
Spartan,
human. You're
so.
not a Spartan.
Look, fucker.
But the weapons are all kind of the same, except for their no ammo.
I liked the Silence SMG. I didn't feel
That
like
was
it
pretty
had,
sweet, yeah.
I didn't think it had like as much of
Yeah,
a
Silence SMG.
I like
cool.
the sight on it, too. That was pretty fucking cool.
Personally,
I really love the
I
helmet
think my
design for
favorite
this.
firefight in the whole game was when you cross that girder going across the two buildings, and you get to that building with the
turrets and all that.
with all the turrets, and you have these rocket launcher turrets,
Yeah.
and you're taking down all these banshees, but then you can like detach them and fucking walk around. Dude, that was so
That
fun.
part was sweet.
That part was fun.
Detaching is a bad idea because there's so many guys, but I did it anyway. That was a good time. I think it plays all right, though. I do like the difficulty, and getting headshots with the pistol in this one, like on Legendary, like it's pretty satisfying taking these guys down, and like it really made a difference to find like a carbine or something to keep your fucking distance, like because these guys are rough, and the jackals in this one, holy fucking
Dude,
shit,
they're
dude.
fucking on, dude.
Yeah,
It feels a little. I mean, obviously, because you're weaker, it feels a lot more tactical and a little less run and gun than Halo 3 was,
It
which is
really
cool.
is,
It's
yeah.
a cool way to like play this game.
and it makes you getting something like the brute hammer just like sick, like you're like fuck yeah,
or even
finally.
like brute shots in the like fuel rod cannons. You're like,
Yeah.
okay, I can run in. And,
Now I can survive. Yeah, it's and then that very ending where there's like that hold off moment, that was fucking nuts. Like
they send in hunters and wraiths. And,
dude, I fucking. We had a weird tactic for that. We just kept dying, and so I like looped around like wide, and I just found some jackal and grabbed his carbine and was just
Did you know
nailing people.
if you run up at the top, there's a human sniper rifle.
Oh yeah.
Oh really?
Yeah,
oh,
so that's what I
fuck.
did when A4 and like the rest of them were holding the ground, and I ran up top and I was sniping.
Yeah, there's
people.
lots of sniper stuff up at the top.
Yeah,
Oh, shit, I didn't know that.
There's like 4 dead
Fuck,
Marines.
that would have made it way easier. Shit, it was hard.
It does
man.
until like the Wraith comes in because you're like firing and you hear like the. And you're like fuck, and you like run and it blows. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, dude. The wraiths are brutal in this too. Everything is. I think it is a lot harder. The 2-man on Legendary was rough, man. It was rough when we didn't have Crenitol or Dead Islander playing with us. Because the first day we had 3 of us. It was Joe, me, and Jake. And Joe was super fucking laggy and he was wrecking our game. But luckily the enemies lagged too, so we were able to go through it just fine. It's in half speed sometimes. But with 2 people on Legendary, it is rough as fuck, dude. It is hard.
It should be.
I beat it on normal by myself. I don't think I would have been able to do it on Legendary.
I don't think
lots of time.
Yeah, I don't think I would have been able to do it. And yeah, you're right. If you want to spend 20 hours on ODST, sure, I could beat it on the Legendary, but fuck that.
Yeah, it's just kind of like, you got to get to the next checkpoint, basically, kind of type of gameplay. I don't know. What did you think out of 10?
Yeah, what do you think, Schwartz? I want to hear what you think.
I'll probably give it I think I'm going to give it a 7. I think it's enjoyable. I like a couple of the gun upgrades. I think the sight on the SMG was pretty sweet. I think some of the levels were pretty well done. I liked the stand down or the standoff levels where you're just trying to survive. Those were pretty fun, and that lends itself to their multiplayer mode that they made for the game that I didn't play this time, of course.
When I was talking to
Stand
A4
battles,
last
I didn't know
night,
this was JoJo.
I was no one watches that show. I was telling him that that last battle, that was my favorite part of the entire game. 100%.
It was pretty sweet.
It's rad.
That one and then the one on that rooftop with the mounted rocket guns and shit. That was fucking
it's a good level too.
Banshees flying all over the place.
Yeah,
I wish the brute chieftain would have been a boss in that level though, instead of just a cutscene.
I was ready for a final boss battle. We never got one.
Yeah.
And in that respect, there are things I think that are kind of missing from the game that I would have liked in a full game experience. And I have no idea when this came out, if it was a full price game or not.
I'm
pretty sure it was.
It was
really?
60.
Yeah. In that case,
that
would have been worth it.
It's
And
Microsoft. What do you expect?
there's also only one multiplayer mode, and although I didn't play it,
Firefight's rad. Honestly, you should play it. If you get a chance, you should play it. It is really fun.
But it is still Halo, and it was still really well done, and just kind of coming off of Halo 3 with a couple changes here and there, and so it was still pretty fun. So I'm gonna echo Schweiss's 7. It's pretty solid, but definitely room for improvement.
How about you, A4?
A4?
I'm gonna give it an 8. I think it's cool. It's like Halo but a different flavor, like
Oriental.
If Halo is nacho cheese Doritos, then this is Cool Ranch.
I don't know. Sometimes Cool Ranch is better.
Okay, whatever flavor you like.
In
less
some regards,
is this
I like
one, but,
the harder aspect and the more tactile.
Halo.
aspect
Okay, Halo is Oriental flavored ramen, and this is.
They call that original flavor now.
Oh, do they really?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
it's good.
Get woke, bitch.
Good one. And then chicken? Nah, chicken's pretty good.
Chicken's
Beef.
good. Beef's good.
Oh, fuck, what's it like?
It's not shrimp.
I'd almost argue
I
would almost argue that Oriental flavor is one of the weaker ones. Maybe shrimp.
Maybe it is.
Shrimp.
Maybe it's just a novelty.
Obviously, we're going to have the great ramen debate.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude. I'm down for that. I'm also going to give it an 8. I really like, and again, take mine with a grain of salt because of nostalgia. But I had just as much fun jumping back into this one.
Take his with a squeeze of lime.
Like I said, I think it's cool to have sort of more like a stripped down tactical Halo game, where you're a lot more vulnerable, and there isn't as many weapons. I think the only plasma rifles you get in this game are the brute ones.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's not very often either.
Oh, I kind of liked actually talking about that too. How in the beginning there are some elites, but you don't fight any of them because you just see them get wiped out by the brutes. Mm-hmm. And then certain levels you'll go through and they'll just be piles of bodies. But then one of the brutes, because you don't see him later in the game, does say he's add him to the pile. Add him to the pile. That's where they have those burning grenades. It's because they're lighting the bodies on fire and just getting rid of them.
Add it to the pile. Add it to the stock. Da, 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 da. Any Les Mis fans out there? Okay.
No, because I'm straight.
Nope.
Joe has now proven himself to be gay twice this
step
month
away
with
from
cats
hell.
and now Les Mis.
You get accustomed to the smell. Well, someone's
now he's gonna. Next thing he's gonna be talking about how great
friends.
Hamilton is.
What do you guys think about graphics and design?
Alexander Hamilton.
God,
My name is Alexander Hamilton.
Jumping through all these musicals?
Well, he just said that he's something about Hamilton, so
he should watch it because his girlfriend.
A million things I haven't done. Just you wait. Just you wait.
Please don't.
If I was going to take
Yes,
Corey to
of
see a
course.
Broadway musical, I'd want to go see a good one, like
Hey, go
Phantom of
see
the Opera
Shrek.
or fucking Wicked. Or
You said
you know.
okay. You said good one, and then said Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah, Phantom of the Opera's good.
It's got 2 good songs in it.
Nah, Phantom's good. I've seen it before on Broadway.
Phantom of the Opera is there.
Did you guys know we changed the sexual orientation of this
Inside
podcast?
my mind.
To question.
No, I only went to see those plays because I used to be in chorus in middle school. So like we'd take a trip out to New York every year to go see a Broadway play.
So graphics and design.
Really? That's fucking awesome.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're only like 2.5 hours away, so.
Okay.
I really like the design of the HUD in this one. I liked how like it lit everything up and like friendlies were green, enemies were red. It's just kind of cool. Added an extra little like oomph to it that I thought was really
Yeah.
neat.
There's also the night vision mode. Which
Yeah,
I
which
thought-
was the same
yeah.
thing. That's what lights everyone up. Which I think is funny they don't give to standard Marines, but they give to like I mean like the ODST is the ones that train a lot harder and like I think it was just like a statistic like 30% like die on impact or something like that. Because why not make it? Why make it easy? But like I don't know. I really enjoy the hub in this one. The HUD.
The HUD in this one, and the graphics are basically Halo 3 graphics. The art's a little different though, just because of where you're at. You know.
Yeah, but
Yeah, it's a
because
little
you're
more
in the
muted.
city, yeah.
Like all the brown stuff we were complaining about in Halo 2 in the Africa levels, it's kind of like all over this game, just by virtue of it taking place in
yeah,
Africa.
because you're only in you're in New Mombasa the entire time.
You're in the one city,
Yeah.
but
Which
I mean,
is-
they mix it up a little bit with the lighting effects and stuff like that, and like you're in a city, so you go into
Like the nighttime
Sorry.
scenes
Okay.
in New Mombasa in the hub world are probably the coolest part, just
Yeah.
because we don't really get to see a lot of that shit in the other
Yeah.
Halo
See, like,
games.
the-
But it was
the red-
definitely like a factor less
Give me
colorful
water or something.
than the mainline Halo games. for
city
sure.
lights, neon lights, subway kind of areas, and
Yeah,
then
I mean, like
get
I
underground.
the only thing I kind of wish they would like saying that like they would have went back and like
Choking on my spit.
that's the worst.
Yeah.
Instead of like, because like I mean, with the Browns, like you guys are right. I just wish there'd have been more like maybe one section could have been like more of like the downtown of the city. So it's like stores and like tons of like different lights and stuff instead of everything being blocked off and locked up. It would have been kind of cool to like have something like that. But I get why they didn't like because the way you see New Mombasa and it is like futuristic cool enough where it's like they are afraid of the Covenant finding Earth, so they would have like ways to like lock things up. Like I get it.
Yeah, there's a lot of little details in the soundtrack and like the areas that are like make it look like a cool little futuristic city.
Yeah.
So I liked that. I don't think the graphics are any sort of step up, but I liked the art style, even though it was different from what I'm used to in Halo, just because of the areas obviously
Right.
different. So I don't know. Graphics and design, I would give it an 8. I think it's pretty darn good.
I'm gonna mirror that.
I don't think it's like top tier Xbox 360, but I think it's decent.
I mean, like
And,
honestly,
yeah.
like I guarantee, like I don't know.
And I like the art, and I like the enemies and all that stuff. They had new ones
They've
too.
just used the same engine from Halo 3.
Yeah.
And they use the same graphic stuff. So I mean, like it is. It's great. It's good. But yeah, I'll mirror the 8. I think it's the exact same.
Yeah. Graphics and design. I mean, the chick looks like shit. Like the faces all kind of look like ass.
The chick does look like shit.
I know he's all lusting after her, and I'm just like, ugh. And I mean, we just got done dealing with Captain Keyes' fucking monotone idiot of a daughter who is she's not really a love interest.
In the defense of the graphics, you did know. You did know it was Nathan Fillion.
I didn't know it was Nathan Fillion. Yeah.
So, like,
I didn't know it was actually him, but I was like, that looks just like Nathan Fillion, and
Yeah.
he sounds like him. Maybe he sounds like him because he looks like him to me.
Yeah, it's just your
Speaking of
mind's-
giant people, also a gigantic human being.
That's right. We took a picture with him.
yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, me and Joe have a picture with Nathan Fillion and Mark
What?
Baldwin.
When?
Is it Mark Baldwin?
Oh, my sister dragged us to to take the picture with them, but they were at Comic-Con, and my brother-in-law wanted to get a picture with those guys.
Yeah, we also stood next to
Oh.
Patrick Stewart, who is very much
Yeah,
not a giant person.
But I mean, I don't like those situations. I really don't like the meet the celebrity at the
meet him on the street. That's cool, But meet him in the thing.
in the line to like talk to him and then get a picture with him, and you paid for it. I think
It's
it's
weird.
like I'm
you
not
don't have
into
to.
that.
You don't have to pay to talk to him.
I'm not into that.
I mean,
But
if
my
I paid him and he
brother-in-law-
sucked me off, I mean, I guess that'd
But
be.
my brother-in-law is into that, and so
Oh,
we
is
got
he?
it for free. And so we just went and took the picture with
All
him.
I
But
had to
yeah,
do-
that guy is gigantic.
all I had to do was stop swearing, and then we got in. That was
You didn't though.
I didn't know. Your sister made me eventually because she told me she was going to take away my picture rights if I said another swear word.
She's
and I was
messing
like,
with you.
I didn't say fuck again that whole
She swears
night.
all the time. She never says the F word, but
I think that's what
the
I
other
did.
words she'll swear.
Yeah.
So like that free thing. That's how I got to meet Jeff Goldblum.
Oh,
cool.
nice.
And he's funny.
Nice.
Yeah, we just have a person that sounds and looks just like Jeff Goldblum that we kind of know. Joe knows a lot more than I do, but it's your movie buddy.
Okay. Parker?
No, not Parker.
It's like, what
he
the
looks nothing like
I
it.
was like, I'm trying to figure out who the hell
it's
you're talking
it's the guy
about.
who did the voiceover for the religious tracks on your movie.
Oh, yeah, William.
Yeah, William looks like Jeff Goldblum and sounds kind of like Jeff Goldblum. to me.
So there's a thing online
Gained
where,
a few pounds.
where
Jeff
it says Jeff Goldblum Jeff Goldblum likes when like his female fans call him daddy. And so we were like talking to him, and I was like, "I've been told I'm supposed to call you daddy," and he just started laughing, like it was just the funniest shit. And he was like, "Yeah." It was really funny.
Zach, if you call me daddy and lose a few pounds, you can come up to my hotel room, maybe suck my dick.
Yeah.
Not like he's cool. He's a cool dude. He's a cool dude. He's really fun to talk to.
Yeah.
What was that one video where like someone revealed something to him and he's like, what's this? I was not made aware of this. What?
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, God, I love Jeff Goldblum.
A4, what would you give?
I'm giving it an 8. Again, like the nighttime scenes in New Mombasa are really fucking cool. I'm not really a big fan of the more muted color palette of this one, but it definitely fits these. It fits, but yeah, just maybe not as memorable visually as Halo 3 or even the other Halo games were.
Yeah.
But it's got its own unique style and it sticks to it, and I think that's cool.
As well, I really like the design for the engineers and like the fluorescent like glow they gave off.
Yeah.
It just looked cool.
Yeah,
It
and the
looked
fact that
sweet.
they never came back for some reason.
Well, because I think there's I can't remember. I think there's an adjacent again in the book. There's an adjacent storyline where like they set them free from the Covenant because the Covenant just use them as like suicide bombers. Like that's what the whole point of them is. Like
Interesting.
Yeah, I thought it was funny that part near the end where they're like, "You haven't killed any of these, have you?" And I was like,
but he doesn't say anything. He's like, no, maybe like 2 or 3.
"Yeah," I was like, "Dude, I killed like 6 of these fucking guys." I was like, "What are these? Go die!" It was so weird though because
Well,
it didn't.
you can't let them get close to you because they explode. Like they'll
Yeah.
drop off a bunch of plasma grenades and just detonate. So.
Oh yeah, maybe it happened to me once, and that's why I had like a extreme hatred for the little blue
You had
asses.
extreme prejudice.
Yeah. Graphics and design, I'll give it an 8 too. It doesn't look that bad for the day. It just made it hard for me to be like interested in the love triangle or the love.
Because you didn't think she was hot. And he was like,
at
man.
all. Yeah, I was just like, it's like, I don't know. She's got kind of a big chin and like, I don't know. The character designs were a little hammy, and you could tell that it was like not a main focus kind of a deal. You know,
Right.
It's like they look like the Marines look in the other Halo games, where Master Chief looks all pristine and they just look kind of like tatery. You know,
Tatery.
yeah. So. But I thought it was a good looking game. It was interesting to have it in like a city the whole time, or at least most of the time. I thought that was kind of a cool change up for the series.
Honestly, like it really it connected 2 to 3 really well. When you leave New Mombasa, and then when you head back, and you're like, and like even like is it Cortana or someone's like, dude, what the hell happened? Like when you come back, it's
Yeah.
like, what's going on? And it did it perfectly. Like it showed you what happened.
Yeah. So
in a way that made sense too.
yeah, not bad. One of the weirdest categories for this review, I would say, sound and music. What do you guys think about the soundtrack?
Soundtrack, I
love it.
dug.
Yeah, same. I thought it was great.
It's like all the weird soundtracks in Halo 1. Like that's what this is like all like focused on. There's a lot of like mixing it with like some techno and mixing it with some like rock in there, but also has like the orchestration of the other Halo games in addition to that. It doesn't
It is
quite
nowhere
have
near as bombastic as the mainline games, though. It's definitely
Yeah.
got more of a subdued, like kind of like low key feel.
I
Kind
don't
of
think it's
smooth
low-key.
jazz sort of feel. I'm turning into Jeff Goldblum again.
I don't think
sort
it's-
of smooth jazz. Yes.
I don't think it's low key. I think it's actually quite like in your face and big, but in a different way. It's not like epic like Halo 3 was doing with like its big piano theme that it would play every once in a while and stuff like that. But it
That's
is
fair.
like
maybe low key is the wrong word.
A rockin'
It's just
soundtrack.
It's not as epic. Yeah, I don't know what the opposite of that would be, but you're right.
But focused maybe, I don't know. I really dug the soundtrack. It is really good. I got to kind of listen to it more when I was playing it by myself as a single player. And I just thought it was awesome. Just more and more awesome Halo music, and I really dug it. Other parts of sound, the rest of the game sounds pretty good. Kind of the spatial 3D quality was actually really good when I was trying to find that fucking radio signal. Listening to the signal, and I thought the sound design was pretty good and worked pretty well. I think there was a couple moments in the game where I rolled my eyes at some of the voice acting. You never know if that's the acting or if it's the writing, but either way, I kind of rolled my eyes a little bit. I will give the sound and music a total for me of 9 out of 10. Especially the soundtrack itself would be a 10 out of 10, but sound and music 9 out of 10.
I liked how the engineers sounded like whales.
Yeah,
they did. They're just like.
You're right. I did have that thought too. I was like, this sounds like my Whales soundtrack I had when I was a kid. I used to have a cassette of whale sounds.
Really?
Yeah.
Real quick, go back. I want to see if I was in the bathroom, so I didn't hear if you said anything. But one of the things we were walking through that, like the hive part, and A4 was like, "Fuck these fluttering like bugs." So I found out A4 doesn't like bugs. But like going through, like it was like kind of like reminiscent to me of like Resident Evil walking through that hive.
No, it wasn't the skittering. It was like you heard like the fucking fluttering of their wings when they got close. Like it's like, oh fuck that shit.
I thought that was kind of cool on that level because like it was kind of like reminiscent of like that backwards sound.
Yeah, that's the only level I had a serious glitch in, where like if we didn't get the checkpoint just right, we would be glitched outside of a door that's supposed to be opened up.
Sucks.
And the checkpoint's supposed to happen on the other side. So what needed to happen is I needed to get tethered to Jake, who was on the other end. But sometimes it would tether him back to me. And so we got stuck there for about 10 minutes and thought we had to restart the whole level. And it was going to be not a good day. So that's when we beat it. So I don't think we would have beat it if we would have had to do that.
Really?
Sound.
What did everyone get?
Oh, just a 9 from Joe so far. I'm going to give sound and music a 9 as well. The soundtrack is it's actually pretty cool. It reminds me of like a comparison between, like a Secret of Mana versus like a Trials of Mana, where like Trials is more of like a standard, like, classical music sort of soundtrack, and Secret of Mana is kind of like a weird experimental, just very different from the rest of the series. And I think Halo 3 ODST is that game for Halo soundtracks. There's some really good tracks in here, but there's also a lot of really weird, like just different stuff, and I think it was kind of cool. I think it's one of the coolest parts of the game, honestly.
Yeah, I remember
the
hearing the only thing I ever heard about this game before playing it in the years since it's come out is that the soundtrack is just like this really cool kind of jazzy vibe to it.
Yeah.
So, and I really dug it. I thought it fit this specific story.
Yeah, agreed.
I'll give it a 9 as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna echo that 9.
All right, guys. The final and the most important, potentially, of the categories, replayability. Will you guys replay this?
We should let Zach go on this one because he's played the multiplayer like properly.
Yeah, go to town.
I mean, like, but again, like, it's my nostalgia thing. Like, dude, I played Firefight so many, like, for a long time.
Really?
I played so much Firefight with my cousins and stuff back in the day. Like, I fucking love it. I love, like, because I love, like, you talk about, like, the kind of the precursor to zombies, where zombies are in, like, you're only really in one area. It's not as big, as it could be. Whereas Fire Team is, like, a whole area. Like, they bring tanks in, they bring ghosts in, they bring, like, the brute choppers in, and you can, like, take them out and use those at those levels as well and drive around.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and, like, take people out. Like, it's massive, like, massive waves.
Is this available in the Master Chief Collection?
Yeah,
it's there. Okay, I didn't really see...
It's in a weird area.
Okay, yeah. I didn't really see an option for it, so...
Mine, like, honestly would be a 10 for replayability. Because I have gone back and replayed the game. Okay. This is, like, my fourth time replaying it.
Damn.
Dude, I loved it when it came out. And it's short enough that you can do it, and it's like, yeah, it's fun.
Yeah,
Firefight's amazing. I loved it. It's, like, one of my favorite multiplayers, like, versions to play. Especially if you equip the party skull grunt, or the party grunt skull, whatever, on the multiplayer, because you shoot them in the head, and their head, if you shoot a grunt in the head, it explodes in confetti, and little kids go, hooray! So it's like a party. That's fun. Like it's just it makes
Wasn't
it
that in
really
like
fun.
Halo 3 as well?
Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah. So I give it a 10. I really enjoyed it.
All right. What about you, A4?
I'm gonna give it an 8 because I haven't played Firefight. And this is my first time playing it. I could see I'm probably gonna go back and play through it again just to try and get all those audio logs. To, maybe play it on slightly harder than normal to get the achievement. But yeah, the fact that it is short enough, like you could easily beat this whole thing in an afternoon.
Sure did.
So that definitely lends to the replayability. And I kind of do want to try Firefight. Like I liked the feel of the combat in this enough that I would go back and play that. So yeah, 8.
All right. Joe, what about you?
I'm really regretting that I wasn't able to play the multiplayer to its fullest potential, because I feel like none of these Halo games have ever disappointed on the multiplayer front, and I feel like this was like a pretty popular one to play, the Firefight, and I just never got to experience that. I do like the campaign, like I enjoyed it, but I didn't like it enough where I'm like, oh, I can't wait to go back and beat it on Legendary, unless I was with other people. Playing this on multiplayer, glitchy as hell as my experience was a lot of fun, and I wouldn't mind replaying the game at all. And there's of course a lot of achievements and stuff you can get in the Steam version of this game that would also pull you to multiplayer. But my experience, I don't think I would replay, but there's a lot of things to do, and I want to try Firefight at least someday, and hopefully regret my score that I'm about to give it. But I'll give it a 7 right now. Solid game, and I guess I would go back to it, and I'm excited to play it some more. I do feel like my 7 might not be a fair score just because I'd never tried the multiplayer.
All right. I'm going to give it... I'll give it an 8. I remember Firefight being pretty fun. I do really regret not getting the chance to play it this time. I just didn't make enough time. I've been working too much, so that's kind of fucked over my ability to play. But I don't know. It's fun enough. I kind of agree with the campaign. I'm not really digging playing the campaign again, unless you're right. If it was like 4 people, it'd be pretty fun. Just burning through it again. But I don't know. There's stuff there to be had as far as replayability goes. But
I mean, as well, like when you beat it on Legendary, like what else is there to do?
Yeah, that's true.
Like you've already beat it at the hardest level. That's kind of like my thing with God of War is I want to go back and play it, but I don't want to play on Give Me God of War. Like I don't want to do it again. But I feel like I might just be like.
I'm surprised you were able to do it, dude. That game is fucking hard.
Yeah, dude. I said a lot of F words. There were so many like in heaven, right? They're gonna like review your life or some shit like that.
No, that's
right?
what I heard.
Mine's gonna be like this like month. And it's like, what was that? And he's gonna be like, oh, he's God of War. That's a pass. You get a pass, you beat it. You get a pass.
Yeah. Yeah, so final thoughts, I guess. I think it's worthwhile playing if you're going through the Halo series.
It's definitely an interesting curiosity of the series,
especially
itself.
if you're going to play
Reach is
5.
more of like a definitive game that like you should play.
Yeah. Doesn't have a Halo 3 colon in front of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A big old Halo 3 asshole.
Well, because Reach does add new things to the Halo engine that, like, this doesn't have, like the loadouts and all the special abilities and shit. But like, this is still worth playing. Absolutely. Yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah, I thought it was fun. I think this one's skippable for anybody who's not like a hardcore at this point in time. Obviously, this game's not brand new anymore. You can kind of just skip this one. It's not gonna. It's whatever you can get out of this, you can get out of the other Halo games outside of, I guess, Firefight. But haven't played Firefight, so I have no opinion on that. But I think the campaign's kind of a skippable one, but it's still fun. So it's definitely not a waste of time. Not a 4.5 hour waste of time to beat this. Yeah,
you should play it. Sorry, play it. It's fun. If you want something chill, like it's kind of like it's kind of chill though. It's like one of those things. Like, no, I don't want to like spend a shit ton on a game, but like,
if you want to try Cool Ranch Halo, then play ODST.
Cool Ranch Halo. Yeah,
I mean it's on the Master Chief Collection, so like, what do you lose? Like
exactly.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You're not wrong.
4.5 hours of your life. That's half a work day.
Yeah, for those who are...
It's a third of a work day, you pussy.
It's a third of my work day, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he works 3/12s or something, right?
3/12s one week, 4/12s the next.
Oh, 4/12 week must be hell.
Yeah, I just got off that. I actually almost overslept today because of that shit.
Oh man,
I set my alarm for like 11:30, and then I can rest my eyes for 5 more minutes. And then I check my phone, and it's like 1:15, and I'm like, I gotta do the podcast in 45 minutes. God damn it.
Yeah.
All right, you got our scores added up there, Schweiss?
I do. So a quick recap of our scores for Halo 3 ODST. Story, 6 from A4 Joe and myself, and a 7 from Zach. Gameplay, an 8 for A4, 7s for me and Joe, and an 8 for Zach. Graphics and design, 8s across the board. Sound and music, 9s across the board. Replayability, A4 an 8, Joe a 7, myself an 8, Zach a 10, for a total score of 39 out of 50 from A4, 37 out of 50 from Joe, 38 out of 50 from myself, and 42 out of 50 for Zach. And that is a aggregate 78 out of 100 for our official Nude Clan score.
Yeah, definitely the least best Halo game so far,
Yeah.
but not bad.
Yeah. Let's see where that puts it in our overall Nude Clan rankings. Now that I have this, I've spent all that time.
Also, how does it stack up to Metacritic?
Oh, yeah, that's important. We always do that.
You want to just look that up, A4?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Grab
hold
that
on.
for me.
Yeah.
So, looks like on our overall list of games that we've ever done, it is ranked 70. It's tied for 77th place.
Halo 3 ODST has an 83 on Metacritic for the Metascore, and the user score is a 76. So we're like right there with the users.
Wow.
Basically.
That's surprising.
We fight for the user.
We fight for you, small folk.
Halo 3 ODST is just below Heavy Rain and is tied with Super Mario 3D World.
Yeah. one point above Game Dev.
Damn, someone in 2009 gave this game a 0 and said I pretty much paid $60 for a worthless expansion for the multiplayer maps, wasting my time. Just another Halo from desperate Microsoft, and the S in Microsoft is the $sign.
Wow. Someone was angry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't pay 60 for this shit. Are you high?
No. This game's like a 40 on release.
Yeah, it's like a 30,
game.
40 bucks new.
Again, being basically just a Halo 3 spinoff.
Poor people.
That makes a lot of sense. But if you're getting it in the Master Chief Collection, you're paying that price, and then you're also getting 5 other great games. So who cares?
Yeah. All right. Well, that was our review of Halo 3 ODST. If you guys want to join our Discord, join the chat, please go and click on the description of the episode and join our Discord. You can tweet us at New Clan Podcast. You can tweet me at Joseph DeGolier.
Me at UFF Podcast.
Me at B Grixis.
Me at A4 Extreme.
And stay tuned this month. We will be having our the great fast food debate here soon. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, guys, if you could support us on Patreon. Schweiss is working away in between these episodes, trying to get everybody's drawing out of the way.
Caught up
So that we're going to give away 11 free games.
Yep.
To these people.
And guess what, guys? Since we're so nice, it's first come, first serve, motherfucker. So whoever wins, and you get any of the games that are available. Because this is what I got worked up with. I was like, no, I have to do it right. I have to make it like what games we had available at the time. And I'm like, fuck that, dude. I'm not doing that shit.
Okay.
So whoever wants Resi 8 for PS5 first gets it.
Yep.
That wins the drawing.
And we got Doom Eternal and crap like
We
that.
got Doom Eternal copies coming out the fucking wazoo over here.
Should also mention, if you don't have the console or whatever the fuck, or if we can't ship it to the UK or whatever, they'll just reimburse you with like a gift card for whatever digital store.
Yeah, we've done that before. And just so you know, someone has won more than once out of these full drawings.
Oh, nice.
So,
I did.
Be generous.
I got Devil May Cry 5 and Death Stranding before I was a host, so that was cool.
Oh, yeah, see? Now you don't even count. Although I think you stopped giving us money, didn't you? Yeah, you did. Okay.
Well, yeah, because I'm part of the show.
Well, look, don't be fucking greedy, okay? Pony up. So, although if you won, what would I do if he would? I was wondering that, actually.
I'm like,
I was
what
like,
would you do?
we're so far behind that we're back before A4 was a host and stopped giving us money. So I was like, what would I do if he won? But he didn't win.
You
so.
laugh in his face.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we've done 4 of the drawings off air. And I guess we'll announce them at the last episode of this month.
Yeah. So and
October, Halloween, guys.
We'll do October's drawing as well because we got the Patreon for it.
Yeah.
The reason usually we do it the month after we did because of the way they settle dough, but we were so late this month recording that we can do it. So
okay, perfect.
Yeah, stay tuned for that. And like I said, first come,
it will
first
actually
serve.
happen this month, by the way.
And then we'll be caught up, and we can make it happen every month. It'll be nice, and I'll feel great. I'll feel so good.
Thank you guys for listening. Share the show with a friend. Check out our YouTube channel. Please subscribe. We'll see you guys next week.
Live always in the nude.
Goodbye.
Sync your cocks up with your friends.
Fuck off.